Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Crafts. Where is old Johnny Boy? I'm late for class today, right? Even Ken, where the hell is John? The storm session ran long, so I'm going to blame it on Joe, Craftmaster Journey. Joe went a little late today, like 5 minutes late, no big deal. I started 5 minutes late out there. I had a really bad run out there that went super long, and I got done out there like 5 after 8 or 1 after 8 or whatever it was. I had to feed the dogs. The dogs get their food cooked, right? So I had to go boil water to feed them. So that's why I'm late. Sorry, I had to feed the dogs. Anyway, don't get so mad. It's a strategy, not me, Jen says. Yeah, I am pissed off today. Boy, I broke a chip. Yeah, not a good morning for me, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. We'll talk a little bit about the storm here in just a minute, but before that, let's get into. I want to get into. Oh, my screens are not ready. Sorry, my bad. I was so late. I never set up my screens over here. So give me a second to get this going. Yeah. You get to watch me do production in real time like Jeff does, right? That's how it works out. Where are we? We are going to be here. Okay. Reminding quickly about the cruise that's coming up. That's filling up pretty quick, by the way. So if you want to be in the cruise, let me know. One guy dropped out last week. I got a couple of you that I'm still working through details on. So bear with, we'll get it done. There's my number, 702-518-6442. You want to go on this thing and hang out for a week in April in Texas and Mexico and all that, let's do it. All right, let's do it. Get with me on that. Or Discord. Discord me, it's fine as well. I got, by the way, yesterday a bunch of emails from a couple of our newer subscribers, which was good. We exchanged a couple of words back and forth there, strategy ideas, that kind of thing. It's awesome. I love it. Keep it coming. I don't get as many emails as I used to. I used to get a ton of emails. Now I don't get that many. More it's comments in the videos, but YouTube likes the comments. I like the emails and the Discord. I'd rather just kind of chat one-on-one. The YouTube way of communicating kind of sucks, frankly. So yeah, get with me one-on-one if you want to talk, for sure. But like the videos, keep liking them, keep doing the thing, because YouTube loves that too. So, all right. Firesides are dropping. I saw JB up there in the chat this morning with the storm video. He and I did a fireside 3 hours long. I edited it out yesterday. I tried to render it last night and the rendering broke. It was such a big video that it busted. So I'm going to try it again today and get that thing up there. So I want to launch it tonight if I can. So I'm going to try and get it re-rendered out and pushed up there. It's a big video. And that's the problem with it. There's more coming. I've got some interviews on the way that I'm scheduling out about coaching and addiction and all sorts of interesting stuff. So we're going to take that fireside craps in a different direction a little bit. Not really direction, but I want to get some more diverse topics out there if I can for us. And it all kind of leads into the Gambling 101 to 401 series. That'll probably take me a couple months to get through. I've got that thing planned out. And I still, by the way, haven't lost track on the USA of Craps thing. It's just been hard to get with people and refocus my energy on that. We did it with Chiro and with Dylan, and then I lost focus on it for a month or two, and then Chiro got sick. So I want to get back to that and start revisiting the States and see... as a fun segment here. That may actually just be a separate show than this one here. Thinking about that. Part of the rebranding effort here on CGTV. So lots of ideas in the works there. So what else is going on? I guess we'll talk. I guess we have to talk about it, right? The storm was horrible, right? Gargoyle reminds me, this is a perfect predator for controlling emotions. Imagine if I'm at the table with money, do I blow out? No, I don't do that. I don't do that because I just don't. I get very excited when I win. I don't get that mad when I lose. When I'm losing bad, I just walk away. I won't put myself in a situation like that. Out here in the morning, it's different. I'm trying to force a square peg in a round hole some days, right? And I'm, you've got to know this about me. Not just you. Everybody should know this. I'm going to put this up on screen. Everybody should know this. Yes, I have a show. Yes, we do a podcast here. Yes, I'm a teacher. Yes, I'm a conservative gambler. Yes to all those things. Yes, I can be aggressive sometimes. All those things are true, right? I also love to win. And I'm also a fiery, emotional person. So if you know me, and some of you do, you know where I'm from. I'm from Philly. right? We are hot and cold over there, baby. Philadelphia, that's just the way we're born and bred, hot and cold, right? That's the way it is. I will turn on you on a dime. I will turn on you on a dime if the situation calls for it. I will also take a bullet for you, right? That's just my personality. Very hot and cold, right? When I'm out in the garage, what you see out there is not me, farting around and having a good old time, right? I mean, sometimes I am, right? I'm not out there to entertain. That's not the purpose of what I do up there. I'm up there to learn and teach and do the trials, right? We're not gonna know if things suck unless we watch them every single day and watch them burn through it, right? And I'm invested in that. I want these strategies to win. I want the Storm to win. Chris and Greg are two of my best friends. I want that strategy to do good. I love them too. The strategy makes sense when you hear it. I want it to work really, really bad. I want to go up there and build that bankroll really, really bad. I want that free bottle of whiskey I want JB to buy me an expensive bottle of whiskey. I want to get to $100,000. I want it to work. And when it doesn't work, I get pissed off. And I'm sorry about that. Actually, I'm not sorry. When it doesn't work the way that it didn't work today, I get really freaking pissed off because, the two strategies that have been the worst, and we can look at the screen here. Let me go find the screen. Hold on. I got to put my glasses on. I'll show you the tail of the tape here is this, right? This one here, I think, is it. So look at the ones that have done well and the ones that have not done well. The traditional 6, 7, 8 has done okay, right? The way we played it was, I think, a smart play, the 6, 7, 8. The 3-point Molly did okay, right? It was boring, but it did okay. The Red Cross did fantastic. The Red Cross so far is the hero of the thing, right? That's got a nice little nimble line play to it. The two dark side strategies, the Dolly Latterson, which is a pure dark side strategy, lost $1,000. The Storm, as you just saw, and let me go backwards up here. The Storm right now, this is wrong. It's 12 and 7. It's up $150. Tomorrow's its last chance. It's either going to lose money or it's going to make nothing or next to nothing, right? The Storm should be better than it is. And I get mad because it's technically a right side strategy. No, Jen, it actually, we had a couple of excess days on that. The excess play was not part of the Storm. Let me go back to that screen. Let me go back here. Where's the thing? There we go. The excess down here is this. The excess play was separate from the Red Cross. Red Cross made that money on its own. It just won 17 times, and the 4 times weren't that bad. The excess play was a whole separate set of wins than that one. This one, a couple days we played a little longer, but not much longer. This thing just won. It just did not lose much. The Latterson was the one that really kind of, and again, the funny thing is about all this is, like I said, I don't like losing the way that we lose, right? And the way that we lose is this. You want to be a good thrower. I'm learning to throw, right? Gargoyle's working with me on the toss. So ideally, you craft your toss and you work your craft, right? So you can win on the right side. That's the whole point. Nobody learns to throw to be a dark side player. So what I'd like to do is turn myself into that, right? And this strategy here gets beat because the right side play, the right side tosses are what's killing it, right? It's what's killing it. The come out losers should be winners for a right side player if you're shooting from the pass line, right? The buck shots of the point should be winners up there. And if you're playing this thing the way that playing the right side the way that I would play it, which is not huge ass bets regressing down, which is smaller bets pushing up, those PSOs that we experienced that the Storm helps us with aren't even hurting you. They're very small. They're very small road bumps, right? So as a right side shooter, and I'm shooting well from the right side, I'm losing my ass. And that's what pisses me off, right? 21 roller, lose $250 on the right side. And I got right side bets out there. That's the thing that's frustrating. So when I play in a way that's frustrating and lose in a frustrating way, that's what gets my emotions boiled up. So it's hard to watch, hard to be part of it anyway. So I gotta just tell let's see, the same teeny bankroll. The Storm or the Red Cross I played at, I think, 2,500 also. We did that one at, what were the bets? It was, I'm trying to remember now. I think it was 90 on the 6 and 8, 75 on the 5, and 30 in the field. I think that's what the levels were because it was winning $50 every time or $40, whatever that was. The wins were, I have to go back and watch it again. But that was, I think the level was about that. It was about $280 in spread, something like that, Jen. It was the same bankroll. And like I said, it just won. I did play it a little extra. Like every day I went to paycheck plus a couple of hits, right? And we just made it work. This one here, I can't even get it to paycheck. Like there's no chance for excess here. That's the thing. And you're right. I do think it is, to me, it's a science experiment, right? It is a science experiment. I'm trying to see, and again, what strategies work and what strategies don't work. I'm going to go ahead and run either the Arnold or we're going to run the DC Pony next month. Probably. I'm going to run them both next week as a test. And we're going to run a Waveland strategy for a full month, straight out of the gate, out of the box, right? We'll see if it works. If it works, fantastic, then we all know. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be pissed off because I love Waylon and I want his shit to work. If it doesn't work, I'm going to go through the roof again, right? It's what it is. I am 100% invested in learning, teaching, and growing everything, right? So what you see out there is I can't fake it, right? I'm not faking getting pissed off, and I'm not gonna fake not being pissed off. Like if I'm pissed, you're gonna know about it. I'm not gonna try to squelch all that and be all clenched up. I don't roll that way. So what you get is what you get, right? Yeah, Jen says forget to the mind or something light side. I could do something like that. I could do like a permanent press kind of a thing. You know, there's all sorts of ways to do it. And I know you want me to play my normal way, right? But I think we got to test stuff out. The permanent press might be a thing that we could do too. I like that one also. They aren't necessarily dark. They have a dark component to them. But what I've been finding myself doing is buckshot and picking the stuff. And again, I think it's because of the throw. I'm gonna give Gargoyle some extra props here because I've been throwing the helicopter toss, not great, not perfect. And I noticed this with the old chopper toss, right? That thing produces a lot of repeats. Like whatever the action is in those dice, I get more repeaters than I ever did with any other throw, which is why I think the Latterson got destroyed because I kept throwing, don't pass, don't come, and pick them both off all the time. This one here, set a point, pick it off. I think it's the repeating nature of that toss. I really, and again, maybe confirmation bias, but it feels like that to me. So, all that said, I'm sorry, not sorry for being frustrated, but it is what it is, man. I'm gonna wear my emotions right here. I'm not gonna try and hide that stuff. And no, I don't go crazy in the casino. Jen said, not like we have a vote. You do what I want and get all men. You are funny. And I know you're rooting for me. I'm rooting for me too, right? We all want to win. And I think, you know, anybody with even a high school math class under their belt will tell you can't win at this game, right? Ultimately, it's a negative EV game. We've exceeded that by a lot so far. To be honest to God, to be 90 days in, 95, actually we'll be at 100 days in tomorrow. Tomorrow's our 100th show tomorrow. To be 100 days in and be up 100%. We started with 10K, we're up over $20,000, is a miracle. It's an absolute true blue spectacle, a miracle come true. That's what that is. Can we keep it going? I don't know. We're gonna be on a down streak at some point. I just want to find a strategy that's reliably going to win 85% of the time and reliably not lose on those 15% losses the whole damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Winning 85%, and you'll hear this from JB's mouth tomorrow, winning 85% of the time, 10%, and losing 50%, the 15%, you're upside down. Winning 85% of the time and losing only a tiny bit is where you want to be. So we got to find the ones that don't have this soul-crushing loss to them, like this one does. This one here, whew, soul-crushing loss. Anyway, let's go to something more fun, shall we? Or maybe not. Not that one. I gotta get that slide out of here. The gambling series is gonna start in the new year. And I gotta remind you this too, right? I'm gonna take this show off next week between Christmas and New Year's. I'm not gonna do a show next week. So I might do the paycheck trial runs, but I'm not gonna do this show and take a week off I need to take a week off of just thinking and get my brain right. I'm going to do some rebranding. I'm going to change the screens a little bit, make things look a little bit different for these shows. I'm going to rebrand the show from Coffee and Craps to the Coffee Run, I think, because I want to cover more games than just craps here. This is going to be whatever the leader in the clubhouse, I guess, to other games. So this will be called the Coffee Run, not Coffee and Craps. It'll be gambling focused as well as craps in their games. Probably heavy on craps because I love it so much, but I think there's other things here too. The Daily Paycheck is kind of a coffee run too. That show can actually do multiple games as well. So anyway, Gambling 101 is coming the first week of January. We're going to talk the first section of that. And again, this is kind of like the first half of the book I'm going to write, right? Which is all the important things about getting your brain right. I think Gargoyle frames this kind of stuff as mindfulness. Ken calls this I think he calls what's broken with you, right? I will say this, the psychology of who you are. Why are you going to the casino? Who are you as a person, right? Are you emotional? Are you conservative? Are you aggressive? Are you a math person? Are you a thinker? Are you trying to play the puzzle, right? All that's fine, but that's got to match your actual win goal, right? If you're conservative by nature and your win goal is 100%, you're doing the wrong thing, right? Also, your bankroll's got to match. All those got to come together. And that's going to be our first set of shows. It's going to be going about digging into the personality types that you can be, ways of playing that match your personality type, and what a reasonable goal is from those plays, and how you kind of make them all work together so that you can either A, make money most of the time, or B, not get crushed, and C, have an enjoyable time at the tables. And that's kind of what I want to get to with the first sessions. The next sessions are going to be all about money. I don't think you should step foot in a casino without good money management and without being able to internalize all of that, right? That means having the right bank account structure. And I mean, even for the casual gambler, you should have a proper gambling bank account structure. We'll talk about that. Handling expenses, where your money comes from, how you split your losses and your wins, treating sessions and win goals and loss limits and all that stuff. We will talk in here also about marker play, about comps, all the things that are about money in the casino. That's going to be your second set of sessions. We'll talk a lot about the math, right? How house edge, how odds work, how probabilities work, what makes a good bet or a bad bet. We're going to dive deep into trends, variance, randomness, clusters, streaks, all that stuff. We're going to talk a ton about that. Again, I want to lay a foundation in 101, 201, 301, 401. We can talk about winning, right? How do you execute this? I talked about discipline last week a lot, right? And we said that, a big part of discipline is making informed decisions, right? It's making whatever bet style you're going to do, aggressive, conservative, whatever it is, but having some stick-to-itiveness in there, understanding your goals, having a good mindset, all that's part of discipline. Ultimately, you execute, right? By matching that discipline to what we talked about. You've got to have the right money management. You got to have a good feel on who you are. Otherwise, you can't win. And I think knowledge is power. So knowing how the house edge works, knowing how you are as a player, will help you make a more informed decision at the table. And that informed decision can be the difference between you losing $500 or losing $100, which is a big deal, or losing 100 and winning 200. That stuff is important. So we're going to talk a lot about execution based on all that stuff, all that psychology and the knowledge and blah, 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 right? That's going to be this whole series is going to be about that. All that to say, I want you to be quote unquote right with yourself and right with your money and right with your experience before you step foot back in the casino again. And for all the new players out there, this is critically important stuff because a lot of people, like I did, walked in not knowing any of this. I didn't have any training. Nobody taught me a damn thing, right? I want to get you right. And that's the point of this new upcoming series that I'm going to do on this channel that will lead into craps play, like today, right? We had a session. We can frame these conversations in the recent sessions, and I can switch to my table and I can talk to you about what does it look like at the table, what I just said. So we can use the craps table as the way to demonstrate all of those concepts. And that's going to be the thing. All right. Let's see. let's see. I think we should go to table. Let's go back there. And actually, I'll put a comment up as I do that. So Anthony is saying, you're talking to Slim. Yeah, mindfulness of when your sessions come, the good ones come and the bad ones come. It's very, yeah, this is me. I'm conservative until we explode into press mode, right? That's exactly my normal mindset, right? Here's the thing. I love my money. I love my money a lot. And you know me, right? I'm a teacher, everybody. I'm gonna go and reset the bets here. I'm a teacher, right? I don't make a whole lot of money. Like teaching is fun and it's very rewarding, but I don't make a whole lot. So every dollar that I bring to the casino means a ton to me. Even though I pull it from a different account, it takes me a long time to build that account up because there's not a lot of sourcing for it unless I'm doing some custom coding work on the side, which I sometimes do. I gotta use my casino trips to fund that account. You know what I mean? The other night we went out to the casino, I won $1,200. It goes into the account, right? I actually took that money, I split it in half. Half went to my gambling account, half went to Christmas presents. That's what I do, right? But I build that account up slowly. The next time I go to the casino, I can buy in for a little more, right? That's kind of what I do. So I hold on to every dollar in that account that I've earned like it's my first dollar. I really do. So I don't want to put a ton of money at risk. I love playing, for example, the Dallas Drawdown. I love that strategy, but I don't have the funding to roll out 640 across, right? So for me, there's two ways to approach this. I'm gonna put that out there for you. I'm gonna put the Dallas Drawdown. Joe was playing it this morning. I'm gonna put it out here. I'm gonna set the bets up with green chips because I'm lazy. I don't want to be a dealer that has to break change. But here we are. We're 640 across. Okay, these are all 4-unit bets. Okay, and the drawdown is looking at 3 hits, and you're playing with profit, right? The way that I normally play though is I have to build up. I'm not funded enough to play a regression system in my life. Okay, I typically don't. If I do a regression, I do a press and then regress. I don't just come out high, right? And again, you have to know this. When I go back to that screen where I said, what personality type are you? And what does your bankroll look like? Well, by nature, I'm conservative / aggressive. I'm conservative to a point, but I want to go out there and felt the table someday, right? I'm looking to do that when I can, but I can't afford to do this. So I've crafted ways to play that get me to a point. Let's get a point. Let's establish a point. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'll show you how these two players differ, right? Where you'd like to be and where you actually are oftentimes very different. Okay, here we go. We're on the point of 4. I'm going to try and get 3 hits. Okay, and again, why am I working on my toss so much? Right, gargoyle is in my ear all the time. Get your hands right, get this right, get that right, get your right. Why? So I can get this set up and throw 3 non-sevens. That's it. Right? DI is not about, he will tell you this, DI is not about getting 50 rollers. It's about ensuring that you get your 3 hits to make it happen. Here we go. Let's get 3 or 4 hits here and see if these guys can make some money. Probably not, right? There's a 5-1-6. Let's see what happens. So 5-1-6. So when I'm playing, what I do typically is going to be this, right? We're going to get our 14 bucks. Okay, I'm going to take my dollar. I'm going to press it all the way to a quarter. Okay, I love my quarter 6. You know that, right? Quarter 6. And I'm going to play in the front here a little bit of what I call the tier pressure way of playing. All I'm doing is I'm basically going all in on the number that hits. I'm going to try and get 3 of them. If I get something to repeat, fantastic. If not, it's the 4th hit, I'm out, right? Back in here, what we're doing is, again, this is a regression strategy, which is a fantastic one. Watch what's going to happen. If it works, we're going to be in great shape. We get paid 120 bucks on that 6, or 140 bucks rather than the 6, right? 140 comes in. And it's the drawdown. So we're going to take back 160. We're going to regress each bet by 1 unit. So we went out 640. I'm going to color up as I go. There's a black chip. So I'm bringing back 200. 75, 300 bucks, right? I was out for 640. On one hit, I'm in for 300, so my risk has cut in half. My risk is at 340, okay, for this guy here. Now, second and third hits are where the money gets really made. There's another 426. That's fantastic. Okay, so here we get paid $29. It's not enough money to regress. I would love to say let's regress back down to 64 across. You don't have enough money to do that. I got to take another hit somewhere. So I'm going to press the 6 again to $54. And here I know what I started with was 12 bucks. Okay, so that means I got 54 on it. $12 was my starting point, which means this bet right now is worth to me 54 minus 12, which is 42 bucks. Another hit of $14 makes it $52, $56. We're almost to where I can play, right? I got to build these bets up to play them down. Back in here, this pays 105 bucks. And we're going to draw it down again. The Dallas drawdown is just two. Oh, I got one too many greens there. So there's 105, 150, 160. There's the extra quarter. 160. So we bring back 105 for the win, 160 from the drawdown. And now I'm at 300, 500, and 65 bucks. We started with 640, which means I'm into this hand for less than 100 bucks now, 2 rolls in. Okay, 320 across, still sitting there. And there's another, that's 3 sixes in a row. That's perfect. 3 sixes in a row. This is great. This pays $63, right? 63 bucks. I can take a buck off that 6, and I can go out there 64 across now, right? This guy here is done. He can play 64 across. Matter of fact, I'm just going to take all this down. Right, and there's my 64 across in play. I've got 105 bucks in the rack. So if I take this and break this down, which I will do, I'm going to take this and break this down. There's $64, right? He's back. $64 in the rack. He's got $42 in profit, right? That strategy, 3 hits, press, and come back, normally lands you with 64 across, $64 back to start again, and half to almost your entire bet in profit. I ended up here, 3 hits in, I'm back where I started, I got my money back in the rack, and I've got about that much money in profit. I got 42 bucks in profit this time, okay, because the 6 was the one that hit. Back here, I paid 70 bucks. And again, we're going to draw it back down. We're going to take down 1 level. Bring 160 off. Now, where are we? There's 100. I'll take this back in my rack. I'm going to color it all up so you can see where we are. There's 200. There's 75. There's 300 bucks, 320. Okay, let's take a quarter for that. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. That was not, I counted that wrong. That's 50. There's 70. Yeah, there we go. All right, now we're good. 300 bucks coming back. Check it out. My rack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600. If I were to take this and make this look like reds and greens, there's 625, 640 in the rack. That's my starting bankroll. I've got 160 bucks in profit and 160 bucks out here. Both players in 3 hits end up in the same spot. They got their money, I'll put the reverse. They got their money back, starting bankroll's back. They've got about in profit what they have in play, and they're playing at the level they wanted to play at. This guy had to do it from 0. Start at the lowest possible bets, build it up to get there, and then come back down to get to where he wants to be. This guy started high because he's got the bankroll to do it. And 3 hits in, levels himself out, has his money back, has a great set of bets out here, and has locked up a whole spread worth of profit. If we 7 out here, goes right back out at 160 and does it again without having to put the 640 at risk, right? You earn 2 shots at it. One success earns you 2 cracks at it, okay? If I'm doing paycheck play, guess what? 160 and 160, 320, and I'm out the fucking door. Like, that's it. You're done if that worked out, right? This guy here can't be out the door. He has to work now. That's the difference though, right? Both players are kind of conservative. I want to get here playing for sort of free. One player's got money, one player doesn't. So when I talk to you later on about your mindset, matching your bankroll, you can be a conservative player with a big bankroll and play a conservative. This is a kind of a conservative strategy. You're running away from the 7, right? In hopes that now you get set up and can play. Now both players can play it out. And when this happens, which it inevitably will, you're not hurt by it, right? You're not hurt by it, but you gave yourself the chance to win. Both players earned enough profit in the first 3 rolls to go back out here and do it again on house money. You get to play again, essentially for free. The one guy's got to put in like $6, okay? But you can play again at your target level for free because your money's back, right? There's a 6 of the point. We'll just play it out here. There's aces. Now, I know that some people are proponents of this. I'm going to talk to you about this as we go too, right? We saw aces here, okay? There are some folks who would say a 1 count. Set the point, turn your bets off for a roll, okay? If we would have done that, no harm, no foul. They also say if you see a horn number, turn your bets off for a roll. Why? I don't know the logic. The 1 count, I get it. You're scared of the PSO, and I understand it. But the 7 comes equally wherever. Doesn't make a difference if you're taking 1 off. This one here, not playing for the taking a roll off after the horn number. If you're playing with a quote unquote controlled shooter, right? The answer to that is that guy threw a horn number and because his mechanics are jacked up. He screwed something up. So take a roll off, let him get himself back, and then go back on him. Random Randy, doesn't matter. If you see a horn number, who cares, right? It's just what it is. It is what it is. And there's a 9. So the person who takes the roll off misses out on a payment. But now we're playing, right? Again, we're playing on house money. We have our first starting bankroll already back from the before. We already did it. So now we just play, right? Now you can do whatever you want to do. You know, I'll do a little bit of Philly special here. We'll drop $1, make it a quarter. Both guys will do the same thing. We'll do the same essential move here. So he goes to a quarter. This guy here gets paid $35 and just does a full press. He's going to go to $50 actually, and he'll do a G money with change. 5, same thing. Okay, that goes to a quarter. This goes to 50 with 10 change. 7 out, doesn't matter, right? Again, you're playing for opportunity in this world, right? So these bets would all come down. Start the process again. And again, you can be as conservative or as aggressive as you want to. But your bankroll and your strategy or your bet spread, whatever you want to call this, has to match all of it. What you do here has got to be a match for how you see the world. Are you aggressive or conservative? Do you have the bankroll to support that? And do you have a betting plan that matches both? Right? If I'm a conservative player, I'm not putting 640 out here. If I have $1,000 bankroll, I'm not rolling out with 640 across and doing 3 presses and back. I'm not doing that. If I'm a conservative player with a small bankroll, I'm doing the 64 across, build up, come down type of thing, right? Or I'm doing a skill 66 on the inside. But that's a rough way to play too. That's my point here, right? And I think that's one little sneak peek into what this series is going to look like for us and how I'm going to talk to you about it, because I think it's important that we understand how that feels, right? How does it look when you've got this, right? 500, 1,000, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's my actual, I'll be honest, there's my 401g account, $5,000 in the 401g account, right? Right? $5,000. What are you buying in for when you have $5,000 in your account? Actually, that's too many. John's an idiot. Too many chips. That's 5,000. What are you buying in for, right? When I have got $5,000 in my bank, People say, what's your average buy-in? My average buy-in is 500 to 700 because I'm not going to put more than 7 to 10%, at most 10% of my bankroll is going out there, right? Or 20%. I'm not going to put more than that at risk. Generally speaking, it's 10% of my master bankroll that goes in. And again, if I lose this, I'm stuck in here. I got to work my ass off to get the money back in that account. That's my whole focus, is keeping this account where it's at. And then at some point, having a nice night and growing it up a little bit, right? Managing your money is so critical to being successful. And success might be defined as not losing a whole lot. So I'm going to be in your grill for a while. This is going to be the whole point of this series coming up. I'm going to be all up in it. Let's go back over here. I'm going to be all up in your grill the entire time, going over all these basics, right? Understanding how the casino takes your money and how you take advantage of that. Understanding how to manage your own money and understanding who you are and what you're doing out there. This is all, to me, critically important stuff. And that's where I'm going to take us. If you want to come with me, come with me. It's going to be a fun series, I think. And it's going to be a little bit of real talk, a little bit of fantasy talk, a little bit of math, a little bit of everything. But I'm always going to go to the table, whether it's craps or roulette, and support what I'm teaching with some actual play so you can see what I'm talking about. I think it's important. All right. Let me see. What do we have here in terms of PCs and questions? Let's see here. Let's see. You're saying it should not be different. Practicing. Are you talking about the emotions? Is that what you're getting into? I hear you. Yeah. The difference is here, I will stay longer than I would at a casino. Right? Again, I'm trying to give you as many trials as I can in the Daily Paycheck Show. So it leads me to things like today where I was down whatever it was, $80, and I said one more shooter and we lost $300. It leads me to decisions like that I would not make at a casino. Here I do it because A, I'm trying to fill the hour with time, and B, I'm trying to give these strategies enough trials and enough rolls to prove themselves. So part of that is the science experiment, right? Giving them more time and more rolls, that can lead to frustration. So 100%. I had a good time? No, I had a terrible time today. Ken, thank you. I think it's going to be a pretty fun series. It's going to be a great series, I think. It's going to be, I say this a lot. Why did you become a teacher? People say, like an actual coding teacher. And there's two reasons for that. One is, how do I say this right? I'm getting older, right? And not that I can't learn, not that I can't contribute, but like my days of being a rock star coder are kind of behind me, right? I could go back and do it. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the grind of coding anymore. Like I used to love it. I don't love it anymore. I do, however, love students coming through my school and seeing them transition from a different career into a new career in tech and going from making 30 grand to 150. That's exciting for me. And when I became a teacher 6 years ago, I didn't know that was going to happen. I did it as a second job. It's a second income. I didn't expect that love to come from it. It did. It's not because I can't code. I just don't enjoy it anymore. And I feel like it's let other people have their time in there and I'll go do this. This channel is kind of the same thing. It's like, why do I do this? And when I found out by the way, by teaching code, I became such a better coder. Like now when I write side hustle apps for people, I'm so much better at it than I used to be. I was good when I was in the field. I'm way better now that I've taught. And not because I'm learning new languages. I'm better as a coder now because I have to break it down and teach it to flat new people who don't know anything about it. By having to break it down and explain the why and explain the architecture, I've gotten way, way, way better as being a coder. The same thing, right? I was a decent gambler before. I was an okay craps player before. Having to come here every day and re-explain and break it down and experience all this stuff with you from this side of the camera has made me better, right? If you followed me for the last 2.5 years, you probably will recognize that I've changed my views on a couple of things. I used to be very dogmatic about certain things. I've changed my opinion on things. I used to be like Darksider. I would say things like When this is happening, stop doing X. You're in I used to say trends all the time. I would say, not that I'm hopping trends, but I would notice trends, cold tables, hot tables, and make decisions based on that. Teaching it for all this time and throwing the 15, 20,000 rolls I've thrown, I'm telling you, I've flipped my position on that. It's bullshit, right? I flipped it over. I don't believe in that anymore. I've seen too much to know that it just doesn't matter. The dice are independent trials. So yeah, I have changed my opinion. I become a better gambler. I become better at money management. I become a better craps player. I become a better teacher. I become a better friend to a lot of you guys too, because we're doing this all the time. That's why this channel matters to me. And that's why I get so emotional when things don't go well. Not just the throws. In general, when things don't go well, that's the reason why, because I'm so invested in it. And again, it's made me better. And we don't have to agree, right? And you know, and people should know this, right? You and I talk offline quite a bit. I would consider us friends, right? My wife and I don't agree on everything either. I love her to death, right? I'd marry her a second time if I could, right? You don't have to agree. It's fine to disagree. As long as you don't let the disagreement become a wedge, right? That's the thing. I can say confidently, I disagree with your position on trending or your position on conditional play. I can confidently disagree with Dusted One on following a trend and betting a trend. I can confidently disagree in other people on other things. It doesn't mean that I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? I can compartmentalize our disagreement on a thing with my respect and love for you as a person, right? And I say this to my baseball players, you know, failure is an event, not a person, which gives them, you know, you failed, but you're not a bad person. I can disagree with you and doesn't mean you're a bad person, right? Or doesn't mean I think less of you. I don't judge you for what you believe to be true on the craps table. I don't. I do what you want to do. If it makes you happy, do your thing. It's all good. I don't really care. And that's, I think, the most important piece of this. We can have these great disagreements, and I think it drives good conversation. And sometimes it makes me deep dive and even change my own opinions. There have been people that I don't like, and I've changed my opinion because I've engaged with them so much. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I've been looking at this wrong. Some of the things that I teach now, I taught the opposite of a year and a half ago, but I've let people like into my head, and like, that's what you got to do. So I think that's a big piece of this whole thing. So marry my wife first. It would be trending marriage, wouldn't it? Yes, right. That's so funny. Anyway, that's all good, right? Yeah, we're gonna coincide with your series. And I think it's going to be good. I think between what I got to say and what you all have to say is going to be great. I really love the fact that Gargoyle and Jeff and Ed are doing a series on, they're really framing it around the concept of DI, right? Gargoyle's got a lot to say with regards to money management and mental discipline. Listen to every word. I said this to you all. I'm going to close. This is my final thoughts. I want you all to hear this. How many people we have watching? We have 39 people watching. Tell your friends what I'm about to tell you, okay? Watch the shows that Gargoyle, Ed, and Jeff do, and I will self-promote my own. Watch my shows too, twice. Watch them once, be in the chat, talk shit, have your fun. Have the great time in the chat, do your thing. That's what this is about, right? It's about, we're here as a community. We're having a good old time. We're talking smack and blah, blah, blah. And you can say, John's an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Watch it again and get your notepad out. Because I'm telling you, there's 30-something years of experience here. Gargoyle, Ed, Jeff, many years of experience. They'll have Toro on there again, I'm sure. Many years of experience. I'm coming at this from a non-DI perspective. I'm coming at this from a purely human being perspective. They're coming at this with the DI as the frame of how you make all this shit work. Take notes from these guys. Watch it again, take notes, write down questions that you want more information on. I guarantee you, if you email me or them, you will get answers, right? Watch the shows twice, take notes. Jeff and Gargoyle, between the F-bombs, will drop you so much gold. You got to listen to it, and you got to take your notes. I got to leave you with that. You've got to get more than one view on these things because they're gonna drop so much knowledge, and it's gonna come like in nuggets. Like I said, some like probably 5 really awesome things today, and it's been an hour show. You got to watch it again to go, oh, that's what he said, and write that shit down. If you don't get it, ask the question about it the next time. We will all. You can email me. Y'all have my email address. Y'all have us in Discord. You don't necessarily have Ed's and Gargoyles contact information. We will forward the messages to them. They will become topics for future shows. Trust me. Those 2, those 3, and me, we're in it to win it, and we're in it for you guys. So that's what I got to say. Right? That's my final thoughts. Make sure you are all in on what we're doing here, because we're not trying to sell. Someday I'm going to write a book. We're not trying to sell a book or a DVD or a class. We're just trying to brain dump wisdom, and it's all experiential. So lean into those guys. Please watch those shows, take your notes, and there it is. All right. There it is. Yeah. Tell us what you want to know for sure. I met Jen. Yeah. I met Jen because she was like, you don't know me that well, but and her sister, is it your sister or your cousin, lives around the corner from me. She flew up to visit. She just showed up at my house one morning. We started talking about the 4 and 10. Sometimes like it's just being in somebody's ear and just being, in coding, we call it rubber ducking, right? Jen just talked herself out of what she was trying to do without me even saying anything, because you just need that person to bounce the idea off of. So, all right, I'm out of here. Tomorrow, last show for this year on this channel. We'll do a little Christmas chat. Friday follows will be a regular show. I'm not going to go crazy tomorrow. Just have a fun day and just kind of talk it up. Tomorrow, I might even open up Zoom. So if y'all want to be part of the show, come on in, and you can cameras off if you want to, but just say hello and I love you and Merry Christmas to the rest of the group. So that's it, guys. I'm out. Y'all have a great Thursday. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.